but let's get into red flag number 3.
Yeah. So number 3, and this is one that you just need to give yourself a little bit of grace for if you don't know how to do, because I feel like literally no one taught us this. And I could go back to the kid conversation at the beginning of, I think I kind of correlate a lot of this to how we were taught to share as a child and how this impacts our poor delegating skills. I do feel like they're intertwined a lot. But the red flag number 3 is delegating poorly and truly not understanding the structure in which delegation needs to happen, which piece of the project actually needs delegated and which doesn't, who's actually responsible for various pieces, meaning like literally inception, doing it, and then the results of it, because it might not be the same person every time. And then really beginning to understand the big picture of your organization, of what makes sense for who to own pieces of that puzzle.
Yeah, so let's go to the root for a second, because I think it's interesting that you point out the sharing thing. To me, the thing that pops up is that the majority of you in high school, maybe even go back to middle school, high school, college, group project. What did you do
What
in the
was
group
your
project
role?
scenario? I'm just going to guess that you led the project and ended up completing 95% of the project
You
yourself.
gave everyone an A, even if they never responded to the chat thread.
You're just like, I'd rather not deal with them and do it myself than try to figure out how to cooperate with these people. And I get it. That set us up for failure later,
Yeah.
because a lot of our teachers also gave up in that process, and they're like, well,
You guys need to figure it out.
yeah, but that we weren't necessarily taught how to pull things out of people that didn't want to participate. And when
And how to
you're
hold people responsible.
right, and when you're 12 and 16 and 22, it's a little bit harder. But as an adult, and these people actually work for you,
Yeah.
we have to understand that most of the time our team is actually more on our team than we give them credit for. People want to see you succeed. People want to see the business thrive. They wouldn't be working for you otherwise, and they definitely wouldn't be working in this entrepreneurial environment if they didn't think that they would have some level of ownership. If they wanted to just do tasks and be done with their day, they would be working somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so we have to get better at letting things go, but also understanding who's right for the job. I was in a call just yesterday about Colby scores, which is interesting. I mean, I've looked at Strength Finder and I've looked at Enneagram and I've looked at all the things. I've never looked at Colby specifically. But in Colby, there's people that will react in different ways. And this was the first time in a personality based conversation I had ever heard someone say, you might only pull certain people in for certain parts of the project based on their behavior and how they personally thrive. And I used to feel so guilty about, well, I don't know if they need to be in the vision meeting because I know they're best at doing the tasks, or when we get to this stage, they'll really thrive here. And I'm realizing now that that instinct is not incorrect. And I need to lean into it instead of feeling guilty about it, but also like reward your team for being good at the part that they're good at.
Well,
And
reinforce the behavior that you want to see more of.
right. Right.
Let's not
Why
set
wouldn't
people up to fail.
Yeah, why would we do that?
It's only going to disappoint both parties. And if you're feeling frustrated with the results that your team is getting you, I really strongly encourage you to dig into, have you actually properly delegated, and not the like, I've given the task and I've done my job. Like most of the frustration is like, I've shown them how to do it, or I've talked to them about this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the surface level of delegation. Good job. You made a Loom video on how to do the thing, but I want you to take it a step further.